Hey fiddlers, welcome to today's fiddle video. Today we're going to be learning 3 different variations on a lovely traditional English country dance tune called NONESUCH. And if you don't already know the tune, I did do a tutorial on it and you'll find a link for that in the description. So today we're going to be learning 3 variations, going from on the easier end to on the more complicated end, and we're going to be incorporating some things like double stops, ornamentation, and melodic variations. So if you'd like sheet music for all 3 of those variations, you'll find a link for that in the description as well. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into those variations. All right, so let's start out with a relatively simple variation on the tune. Here is what it will sound like. We're adding some melodic variations. We're taking parts of the tune that have longer notes, maybe quarter notes, and we're dividing them into eighth notes and sort of dancing around the melody. For example, the first phrase of the tune usually would go, but instead we're going to go. So instead of, it's, and then we go on. So it's, then leading into the next phrase, we're actually going to do a little scale of eighth notes leading to the open A. So it's going to sound like this. Again. So that's our A part. In the B part, we've got the same idea. So instead of going, we're gonna go. So just adding one little note, just that D after the first finger. Again. So here's that whole variation one more time, starting with that A part. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. B part. To our intermediate variation, we're going to add some ornamentation as well as a little bit of a double stop, as well as anticipation of the beat. And here is what it is going to sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're starting right out with a pickup note, going into an open string double stop with your D and A strings, then just the melody, and then we've got a little variation here, just a little ornament. And what we're doing is, instead of just playing the notes of the melody, between that low second finger and the first finger, we're going to put a couple grace notes. We're going to go 2, then we're going to go really quickly 3, 2, 1. So. In the next phrase, we have another opportunity for a double stop. So we'll go. That brings us So our whole A part is double stop, variation, just an ornament there, double stop again, do that again, that brings us to the B part, and the only thing we're going to throw into the B part is something called anticipating the beat, which in this case is going to mean that basically we take the note that is the pickup note for the B part, that's your first finger on the D string, and we're just going to hold that note into the downbeat of the first measure of the B part. So it's going tapping your foot, you're starting that note right before your foot tap on the downbeat of the measure. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's our entire intermediate variation. Let's try it all the way through, starting with the A part. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. B part. Now let's try out the advanced version of the tune. This is a much more notey rendition of the melody. Whole bunch of eighth notes in there. We're also going to throw a bunch more double stops into the B part. So let's hear how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Part, it's just a lot of stepwise motion, a lot of kind of following the arc of the melody with eighth notes kind of going down and up and then down again. So it goes like this. Let's try that again. That's our first phrase. The next phrase just gets back to the normal melody. So it's and again. Then in our B part, we have some double stops coming into play. They're all going to be with the open A string above the melody. This is part of what makes it a little challenging, because when you're playing notes on a lower string and trying to do double stops with an open higher string, it can be challenging to get your fingers kind of out of the way of that note above. Here's what it's going to sound like. So we're starting with that first finger on the D string playing E, and you're going to do that with the open A above. Then you're just doing single notes. And then once you get back to that first finger again on the D string, you can play the next few notes with that open A above. So it'll be like this. Then you do that basically again. The open A the entire time, that's okay. It can just pop in there, here and there. Let's play the entire advanced variation all the way through, starting with that A part. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. B part. Alright fiddlers, that wraps up today's fiddle video. I hope you enjoyed these variations. And again, if you'd like sheet music for all three, you'll find a link for that in the description. You'll also find a link to the tutorial I did on the basic melody plus another variation. Have a wonderful day, happy fiddling, and I'll see you soon.